there. Welcome back to another session of Language Mantras. This is Basic English session 40. Normally we drive a car ahead, that is forwards. Sometimes it becomes very necessary to drive a car backwards also. This is exactly what happens with the use of the voice. Normally we speak in, say, active voice, but sometimes it is really very necessary to speak in passive voice. In our previous sessions we have discussed how to convert or transform an active voice into passive voice in the simple present tense, simple past tense and simple future tense. Today we have the continuous tense in its three formats, that is present continuous tense, past continuous tense and future continuous tense, and also perfect tense in its three formats, that is present perfect tense, past perfect tense and future perfect tense. But today we will be trying to see slightly differently. That is, the other day we tried to convert an active voice into passive voice. Today we'll try to see how a passive voice is transformed into an active voice. If you see from both the sides, things will be more clear and it will help you understand the basic structure. It's not very difficult. Once you get the structure, internalized, things become very mechanical. You can easily transform an active voice into passive voice and a passive voice into an active voice. So let's see some examples. We'll have 6 tenses, 6 formats. So at least 6 examples are there, but we have more than that. So first sentence, Roy is writing a letter. Do you recognize the voice here? Roy is writing a letter. Which tense is this? This is simply continuous tense. If you make it a simple present tense, it will become Roy writes a letter. In that case, we have seen a letter is written by Roy. And now Roy is writing a letter. That means a letter is being written by Roy. Remember this, in the continuous tense it will be being written. A letter is being written by Roy. See the first sentence here. The baby is being carried by the kangaroo. This is the passive format. The baby is being carried by the kangaroo in her pouch. Okay? So what will be the active format? The baby is being carried by the kangaroo. Now it will be the kangaroo is carrying the baby in her pouch. So simple. The kangaroo is carrying the baby in her pouch. So what is the difference between these two formats? When we say the kangaroo is carrying the baby in her pouch, we see the kangaroo first. And then we see how it's hopping. And then we see a baby comfortably seated in the pouch and peeping out to look around. So what happens? Once again, we see the kangaroo first, and then its movement, hopping, and then we see the center of the action, that is the baby comfortably seated in the pouch. But what happens here? The baby is being carried by the kangaroo. Here the baby is something that comes first. You first see the baby peeping out of the pouch and looking all around, and then you see the movement of the kangaroo, and then you see the total picture. So this is the basic difference. Otherwise, these two sentences mean almost the same thing. Now come to the next one. A review of the novel was being written by Dr. Sen. This is passive voice. A review of the novel was being written by Dr. Sen. This is past continuous tense. A review of the novel was being written by Dr. Sen. What will be the active voice? Dr. Sen was writing a review of the novel. In the present tense, it will be Dr. Roy is writing a review of the novel. Whereas in the past tense, a review of the novel was being written by Dr. Sen becomes the passive format of Dr. Sen was writing a review of the novel. Now come to the third sentence in the future tense. Kites will be being flown. Kites will be being flown by the children tomorrow. Will be being. This is the exact composition in the future tense. The kites will be being flown by the children tomorrow. That means the children will be flying kites tomorrow. Once again, you see these things and try to convert into, another tense. It will be easier. The baby is being carried. That means the baby was being carried. And the baby will be being carried. This is so simple. And take this one, a review of the novel was being written. So a review of the novel is being written in the present tense, and in the future tense it will be a review of the novel will be being written. And you know the active format. You have done it several times. So this is all about transforming or converting a passive voice into an active voice in the continuous tenses. Now come to the perfect tense. See an example of perfect tense. He has written a poem. Very simple thing. He has written a poem. This is active format. Make it passive. A poem has been written by him. A poem has been written by him. This format is here. Some money has been donated by Harry. Some money has been donated by Harry. That means Harry has donated some money. So simple. Harry has donated some money, nothing else. Money doesn't do anything here. But Harry does something with his money. Harry has donated some money. Therefore, some money has been donated by Harry. Then come to perfect tense, past perfect tense. A lie had been told by Jim before he left. A lie had been told by Jim before he left. Before he left, forget it. That means a lie had been told by Jim. That means Jim had told a lie. Jim had told a lie. This is active format of this sentence. A lie had been told by Jim. Now, if you want to make it present perfect tense, a lie has been told, or Harry has told a lie. In the past tense, it becomes Harry had told a lie. In the future perfect, it will become Harry will have told a lie. But here we have another sentence. A story will have been completed by you. A story will have been completed by you before we reach the station. That means you will have completed a story before we reach the station. So simple. A story will have been completed by you before we reach the station. That means you will have completed a story before we reach the station. So these are the constructions, that formats. You just try to understand the structure of the sentence, nothing else. And you just read and read and read and deal with these constructions. And you can easily internalize the system of construction. Once you do it, it will come automatically without any thinking process activated. And this is what is learning. Learning is imitation. You imitate the constructions. I think you have understood these two, say, tenses and different formats of these two tenses. So nowadays, nobody uses the passive format of, say, perfect continuous tense. Perfect tense, fine, it is still in use. But perfect continuous tense is no longer used in its passive format. So I think this will make some sense. You can understand. And some students, I know, they are very much comfortable with the text. In that case, do one thing. When you see the video, just below the video, there is the title bar like this, voice, transformation, number 3, etc., etc. Just tap it and the text will appear. So you can read the text and then you can verify with the video, and then again you can go to the text if you need. As many times as required, there is no problem. And do one thing more, try to motivate us. Say, subscribe our channel, share it, and push the bell icon so that all new entries is intimated to you easily. So I think this is all about we have today. Have a nice time, and don't forget to write to us how you feel with our lessons. Thank you very much.